Caterina and Sam Barbieri joined the great diaspora of the early 20th century, spending 2 weeks on a ship from southern Italy through Ellis Island in hopes of a better life for La Famiglia. They settled in Ebensburg, Pennsylvania with 9 children, including a talented and hardworking son named Dick. The first generation Barber kids developed a strong work ethic early on.
In those days, a lot of times you didn't even finish high school. But once you were maybe 16 years of age, maybe even younger, you went to the coal mine. So most of my uncles on my father's side went to work in the coal mines.
And I remember Dad telling me that he used to go around with his father because his father could not speak English.
Right.
And he would translate. And my father's nickname was Muzzy. They called him Little Mussolini when he was little.
Dick went on to become the first and only of his siblings to graduate college, attending Kent State. He then answered the call to serve his country in Korea. Upon his return in 1957, while visiting a friend at the Johnstown Hospital, he met a nurse named Anne Noel.
And I knew who he was, and I think he knew who I was. Eventually I did go out with him.
6 months later, they were married and began to build their own nest within the extended family, with an emphasis on togetherness and, of course, music and dancing.
He loved to play. He loved to play the accordion. He loved his Italian heritage. And the accordion only came out maybe at family reunions, but when it came out, we would play the tarantella. My uncles and aunts would do the dance. And from time to time, it would even come out at weddings. So it was an interesting part of his life. He enjoyed it immensely.
I remember thinking to myself that my dad was kind of charismatic when he played. You know, it wasn't just him playing. It was almost like animated playing.
It was the early 60s. Dick Barber knew that the demand for heating oil was booming. He went to work for the mobile company to learn the business side, but he always had his mind on securing the future for his family, which now included 5 kids: Linda, Carol, Steve, Rich, and Jim. Barber Oil officially opened for business in January of 1966.
So my dad was the one who ran the office and also delivered heating oil. So he was doing both. And I can remember, he'd work during the day, come home and eat. I don't know if he took naps back then, but then he'd go back out the office at night and work to keep up the paperwork, and then gradually began to improve it.
I was about 6 years old when my dad started the business, so for me, I don't ever remember a time that we didn't have it. But things I remember about my dad being in business is in the early years, he worked just ungodly hours, and holidays were hard because whether it was the day before, the day after the holiday, and sometimes the day of the holiday, he was always working. And so it was kind of a premium to have some quality time with our father during the winter months.
Dick focused on forging business relationships, while Ann primarily raised the kids, who went to school and then oftentimes stuffed and stamped company mailers together at the house on Horner Street in Ebensburg. In 1972, Dick and his brother James broke ground on the eventual home of Barber Transportation on Route 422, and then on the home of Barber's Food Court from the acquisition of the mobile gas station. The years flew by, and through the 70s and 80s, the Barber kids learned on their feet.
He had a little time to help us with the things we needed to do. He was running the place by himself. I really appreciate that now that I'm older with children. But it was, go out and get it done, and I can't help you, and don't screw it up. And it was difficult at times.
But then again, too, you just did. You did what you were told. It was like, okay, this is what we're doing. Well, how do we get it done? I don't know, but we'll figure out as we go. I mean, that's kind of how we
That's
all
how
are
it
that
went.
way now. It's like if you don't know, you'll call people to find out how to do it, get people to help you, or just make up your own way of doing it, you know? I think we've all grown from those experiences.
Dick's love of music and family never wavered, including school plays and the Cambria Cadets Drum and Bugle Corps.
Some of the friends that I'd hang around with, they would get into trouble. That was never me. I never had time. During the winter time, we practiced 3 evenings a week, twice a week during the week, and then on Saturday. And when it got to be summertime, when the weather was good, it was pretty much every night, every weekend. We would either be rehearsing or away at a show. It was a full-time job, quite frankly. It really kept us busy.
We always supported each other. I mean, I can remember arguing, I had to go watch somebody's stupid school play. And my father said, get dressed, we're all going, and there's no question, you support your brothers and sisters. And we still all do that now.
He always made it a point, whether it was a Little League baseball game or a drum and corps show, or anytime any of us kids were involved in something and there was an event going on, he would do everything he could to be there.
One warm summer day in 1971, Dick took his sons down to Latrobe, Pennsylvania, to watch the Steelers training camp. The decision they made that day created a lifetime of memories and bonding.
We were kind of standing in line to get in, and they had this table set up because they had just built Three River Stadium. And it's like, oh my God, the seats are empty. So they were doing anything they could to sell tickets, and they had these packages, and so we're standing in line, and somebody says, well, why don't we get Steeler tickets for a year? What the heck? So they went ahead and bought them. Oh my God. What a coincidence.
And this is before the Steelers did anything.
Oh, they were terrible back
They
then.
didn't even win a playoff game. They had never even
Yeah.
been to the playoffs. And there's these, as I understand the story, there were two women sitting there at a card table trying to sell season tickets.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
And
please.
and then there was the immaculate reception, and
The rest is history.
History is history, and we've had season tickets ever since then. A lot of great memories.
Some of the best memories I have spending time with my father was going to the Steeler game. And some of my best memories is kind of reliving that, taking my own son.
On March 12, 1995, Dick Barber suddenly passed away.
Took a long time to get over that, you know, and it still kind of hurts sometimes, but you feel that you've grown from it. I feel that his values and his business practices have instilled in all of us, and that we work together as a family to accomplish what our main goal is that, you know, moving on in business, making changes, not sticking with the, okay, well, this is what we've always done. You know, you have to look to see where the industry is going, what changes we need to make, you know, to benefit our family organization in the future.
The Barber family is celebrating 50 years in business in 2016. Jim's son Jared has been working hard to learn the ropes in an effort to lead the next generation.
I'm very excited. You know, it's a great company. It's always amazing when your family's involved. It's something our whole family has been involved with, you know, for 50 years. I mean, now that I've turned 18, you know, I'm in college a little bit. I've been getting more responsibility every year. I did installs last year for our heating and air conditioning company. And that was just like a little taste, you know, starting at the bottom, trying to see everything as I go along the way. Whenever I get older, it won't just be me, it'll be all them, you know. Started with my grandfather, then it was theirs, and hopefully someday it would be mine, but you know, that's a little nervous because you got to keep carrying that. You got to keep it going. It's a big deal for all of us. 50 years means a lot, and we're hoping we're there for 100 more.
Through the years, Carol, Steve, Rich, and Jim have had each other's backs as they continued their father's vision.
I'm sure he would not have endorsed any of the things that we've done, but I'm sure he would have appreciated the guts we had to do the things. And it's worked out great.
Something that was stuck with me was that, not so much the 50 years, well, that's a milestone, is that when I realized that I've been in the business a little longer than Dad was. Because he started 66.
That's right.
He died in 95. It's 29 years. I started in the business in 83. It's 2016.
Steve stepped up back in 1984 to handle accounting and has been a rock for the company ever since.
More or less just stressing the important works that have to be taken care of and just make sure they were done. Some things are more important than others, and just stressing those and getting them done.
It's important to the family that they be a good neighbor and provide peace of mind to their customers and community.
Primarily a residential home heating oil propane company. We don't have a lot of big corporate clients. We're dealing with homeowners, people just having their home, and our goal is just to keep them warm. And everybody goes through tough times, so we're just trying to be a friend to them. Many of our customers go back 20, 30, 40 years, and a lot of times we're still servicing the same home with the fourth or fifth new owner. So we just keep going at it, one customer at a time, just trying to be a warm friend to these folks.
Ann Barber is constantly amazed at her family's ability to adapt to the evolving energy industry.
Oh my, yes, because we started out in gasoline and we hardly sell any gasoline now. When Jared was talking about the future, and that's what you have to do. You have to look to the future and see what you can do to diversify and to keep it going. And they've done that very well. Well, it's been a great ride. This is the way I would explain it to you. It was a lot of fun, a lot of work, but we enjoyed it all.
The Barber family, one of the many dedicated and caring Pennsylvania-based family businesses still thriving today. Their goal is warm friends, past, present, and future. Thank you for watching the Pennsylvania Propane Family Portrait Series, a presentation of the Pennsylvania Propane Gas Association.
If your wings are broken, for our minds are yours will open too. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you, even if we're breaking down. We can find a way to break through, even if we can't find heaven. I'll walk through hell with you, love, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you, even if we can't find heaven. I'm gonna stand by you, even if we can't find heaven. I'll walk through hell with you, love, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you, yeah, you're all I never knew I needed. The heart, sometimes it's unclear why it's beating. And love, if your wings are broken, we can breathe through those emotions too. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. And oh, truth, I guess truth is what you believe in. And faith, I guess faith is having reason. And love, if your wings are broken, for our minds so yours can open too. I'm gonna stand by you, even if we're breaking down. We can find a way to break through, even if we can't find heaven. I'll walk through hell with you, love, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you, Even if we can't find heaven, I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we can't find heaven, what